ladies and gentlemen, we are back. My name is Abstract. With me here is Hans, here for the Asian Esports Games 2024. After witnessing the crushing defeat of Philippines in game number 2, I took the liberty to go over to the nearby shrine, and I ran there at 50 miles per hour and cleansed my hand and my soul so that I can never, ever
Thank you, Abstract. In behalf of all of the Filipinos, I think we give you salute. I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section are probably thinking of the same way, but if you want the jinx to stay the same, but just in case you guys don't know it, here's one thing that can keep you overjoyed.
Exactly, and that is going to be the PGA, as Mobile Legends Bang Bang has been nominated for the Best Esports Game at the Game Awards 2024. It is the only mobile game to be nominated, by the way, so this already puts us at quite a bit of a spotlight. At this point in time, PGA is of course considered as as kind of like an Oscars of all game award ceremonies, and it's a big achievement to be nominated. So head on over and vote Mobile Legends Bang Bang at PGA's website at thegameawards.com. It is open to only held.
Just reminding, right? Reminding people, you know what? We're about to figure out now on who thanked Beyonce or not in this game number 3, because I feel like that's gonna be the scenario that we're gonna be looking for. But of course, I'm just kidding. None of these teams, none of these players are in contact with Beyonce. All of them are okay. If you know, you know. But Philippines on the red side, hey man, don't do us like that. But yes, that's gonna be the case that we have now. All right, Philippines and Cambodia, they are one game away from either making it into the next stage of the upper bracket, or will they go down into the lower bracket. Whoever wins in this specific game is going to be certain that they can make it into the top 4 of the competition.
So with all of the bans that is already thrown right out already, we've got Hilda, Alpha, and Hilda banned out from the side of Cambodia. All the Philippines have banned out the Suyo, Jusin, and Angela. With the Hayabusa being first picked from the side of Cambodia, it is still very much open. Have any form of idea about how both sides of the team is going to be picking out just yet, but we definitely have a pretty decent idea when it comes down to the meta. Bruno is available, and Yves is available, Hylos, all of that is available as well.
I'm wondering if Philippines is still going to persist with the Kadita at this point in time, because they've picked it for 2 consecutive games already, but there's a lot of mid laners open here. To be specific, you have the Aurora, Vexana, you have the Eve as well, just like what you mentioned. So I feel like the Philippines would tend to prioritize other roles, just because they know that they have other options left available in their arsenal. So Gatot Kacha is going to be one of those picks, but there it is, right? Just like what I was saying a while ago, the question is
down to the Kadita, and they know just how much stake there are in this game. So whenever in doubt, if the meta is ever evolving and there are heroes that you don't really know how to play all that competently, you can always rely on your most comfortable pick, especially if they are not heroes like can all definitely be played to a certain degree. Now, Cambodia, they've decided to go for an Edith as well as an Aurora on their side. So at this point in time, there is a lot of crowd control and a decent amount of damage coming in from the Aurora as well. So we can definitely expect that when it comes down to the gold leaders, there is quite a lot of heroes that is going to be great fit for this kind of battles.
Yeah, to be fair, that's going to be the final pick as well. The Ling picked up by the Philippines here to go up against the Hayabusa. So we're going to be seeing an assassin versus assassin matchup here. Something that we haven't really seen, I feel like, all throughout the day, because we've seen heroes like Martis, the Alpha, and Suyo coming into play. So this is going to be something that's like a little fresh for us today. But Cambodia is still picking up on that Aurora as we speak, together with that Edith. So right from the get-go, the first 3 picks of Cambodia is really going to be hard to go up against in terms of the itemization. Like, how would you want your items to be built up if the mix of having physical damage and magic damage as well. So you need to prioritize your items depending on how you would want to approach this game. So I feel like that is really going to be the crucial point. Cambodia already learned their lesson from that Clint, so they won't be able to, so they will not, put that right away. And same thing goes for the Philippines. They knew that the Harith was the problem in game number 2, and they will remove it. So both of these teams learning from their lessons back in the previous games, and we're about to enter a new age here.
So with all of these heroes that's taken away, and Harith being one of the most important heroes from the side of Cambodia, let's kind of take a look at what are the gold laners that would well, especially since we're looking at a Ling onto the opponent's jungle. You gotta have to have some really good footwork to ensure that you're safe away from that Ling, right? Entropy is going to be a very essential skill to get away from a Ling, right? So Natan is definitely going to be one of the main hero picks from inside of Cambodia. It would depend if whether Philippines would want to steal that away. Bruno is also available at this point in time with a quick little dodge away. You should be able to do pretty fine at Danny, although you should still get hit by at least 2 blades, but it's more than enough for you to stay alive.
Alright, so the 1-1's going to be the final ban here for Cambodia. I'm curious to see on whether or not this is going to be, because for the Philippines, right, you have the Bruno, you have the Melissa, you even have the Beatrix at your disposal, and I am not so sure as to why the Beatrix hasn't been picked up in a long while, but the Philippines of gold, so they're going to be sharing a lot of those objectives moving forward, so both of them have to stay in their lane, get at least 2 or 3 items before they finally engage. That's for the Ling. But for Bruno, he can be activated anytime, and I hope the Philippines are aware of that.
There we go. The Natan, just as we expected. With also the Tigreal that is going to be joining into the mix. So honestly, I gotta have to say that there is quite a bit of there's quite a draft from the side of Cambodia. Let's be honest here. It's pretty darn scary. So Philippines, they're right now only lacking onto either Roma/EXP laner. So it could go in an either way situation. Khalid is still going to be a very good pick, considering that you would want to go for some good initiations on your part, because AOG, once again, like I said before, it is not an initiation skill. AOG is a counter engage / a follow up skill, because it takes a little bit too long of a what's the word? A little bit of too much backswing in order for that AOG to actually land and hit. So how is it going to be like for Philippines? They have decided to go for the Terizla. A little bit more rooted onto the ground, but that also means it's a little bit tankier at this point in time.
Yeah, I like it. At this point in time, right, if you are the Philippines, you've said it yourself, right? At some point in time, you need like a first initiator and not that Avatar of the Guardian, because if you are just gonna depend on the AOG to be the primary,
this is where that Terizla also picks up the Revitalize together with the Gacha. So no, we won't be able to see a penalty zone flicker from the side of Vivero, and that is a very bold move.
Yup, already activating the penalty zone as we speak. Both of them actually landing. The Tigreal is going to be using that implosion, but the Philippines is going to be getting that turtle. And also, EE as of that moment, here goes another one of those Avatar of the Guardian types of plays going to be utilized as well, waiting for the right opportunity. And all of a sudden, the Philippines are getting what they wanted out of that fight, just waiting for the right time to strike, not even using any sort of ultimate before that, or right after that turtle fight. That's just the time that they used it.
Yeah, so with that said, we are already looking at close to a 3,000 gold lead, realistically at 2,000 gold lead in favor of Philippines. However, they don't really have got a lot of heroes that can actually prioritize, and of course to make full use of that the power spike and that lead in the mid stages of the game. Even if we have reached 8 minutes into the game, I won't think that the Ling will be able to do too much, because the best that I can believe is going to be a single Berserker Fury over to the side of the Ling, and perhaps one other item. You gotta have to lead with a lot of kills in order for the Ling to be able to pop off and get a total of 3 items just by 8 minutes, and it's very much impossible, let's be honest here. But Paris, he needs to be the one to get farmed. With a total of 1 kill to his name, he's eventually gonna get his way pretty effectively if he joins in the fight more.
I feel like the longer the gold lane stays stagnant for both of the teams, the bigger of an advantage it is for UE, just because the Nathan really is effective in the later portions of the game, and so far none of the activities have been happening in the bot lane. It seems like Cambodia is trying to prevent that lane from being invaded so that there is no sort of pressure, but all of a sudden, what a beautiful take coming in from the Philippines. That is a rough waves and the avatar of the Guardian, including the penalty zone as the icing on the cake, as two heroes, Nabi and Moshi, go down in the process, and the Philippines are in the lead.
Oh, that is an absolute slaughter. I didn't know that I made a trip down to the slaughterhouse right now, but that was an impressive fight from the side of Mortis. Catches onto one, which was actually only onto Nabi, but just so happened that Moshi walked towards the breath of the ocean, only to be hit by the rough waves as well. So that was definitely disgusting, especially with Diagon really fast when it comes down to that follow-up as well. Yui down to the bottom lane. Also another one that will be taken down by the hands of that Kadita.
Yup, they're not yet done, as Nabi's gonna be taking the breath of the damage as well. Maybe no Pride of Ice, which is why she has committed to use that flicker. And there goes the AOG as well. Not gonna be able to hit anyone, but Nabi's still staying alive here. The Philippines not giving this one up, as that is gonna be the Pride of Ice finally procced here. But Nabi still staying alive in the middle of it all. But the turret is not gonna be able to save her, as the Philippines did not only get a kill, but also taken down a turret in the process, now leading by at least 3,000 in gold.
A turret for a turret, an eye for an eye, is what Cambodia is trying to go for. They did lose the T1 at the bottom lane, but at least they did manage to kind of equalize that fact by getting the T1 up to the top lane as well. But unfortunately, Philippines, guys, I'm Mortis. Mi amor.